I, 22, have little identical twin half-sisters, 16, who both have serious kidney issues. They have both sadly reached a point where without a kidney transplant, their quality of life will continue to decline and they might not see the other side of 20. Obviously, myself and my mom are devastated with this news. It wasn't expected that they would be in this position so young. For some background, one of my sisters, Sarah, is very much the tomboy like me. We are really close and enjoy a lot of the same things. We are like two peas in a pod. That's not to say I don't love my other sister Jade, but we simply aren't as close. She's a little more girly, doesn't have many shared interests as me and Sarah do, and so we just don't hang out as often. I also don't see Jade as much in general. Sarah doesn't like her dad's wife, and so she spends less time with them, while Jade adores her, so has always spent more time at her dad's place. Both my mom, their dad, and both of the girls were totally happy with this setup. Jade also begged to go to a particular boarding school, so I don't see her nearly as much as Sarah, nor have I for a very long time. Maybe one weekend a month for the last couple years and some more over summer/holidays. I still love her dearly, but I hope it's understandable now that I'm just much closer with Sarah. We were equally close until Jade started doing her own thing and making choices for herself, and I don't in any way begrudge that. I wouldn't say B and Jade don't get along, but there have definitely been some big spats over the years. We all got tested to see if it would be possible to do live donations, and I'm the only match. Unfortunately, I obviously only have 2 kidneys. I can only save one of my sisters. There's every chance they might get a kidney from somewhere else, but right now they aren't a priority and aren't high on the transplant list. I basically told my mom, who told their dad, that I want to donate my kidney to Sarah. I thought about it so much. I know this means I am undeniably saying I love Sarah more than Jade, and I guess I do. Unsurprisingly, all hell broke loose about how could I do this to Jade, how could I be so cruel, why would I do this, how can I just play with their lives? I've been getting calls and texts from everyone who knows about this. As far as I know, neither Sarah or Jade have been told. I get it. I'm playing God here. But it's my kidney. Yeah, I feel like scum for choosing one sister over the other, but one is my best friend and the other is, well, not. I feel like a monster for saying it, and I know on a fundamental level it's wrong. Part of me wanted to flip a coin or something, but I couldn't. My whole family seemed to be demonizing me for making this choice. Sorry if it's confusing, the character count cut me off. Small update, currently, their doctors can't tell who will deteriorate faster. They are currently at similar stages and their most recent results have given no insight into whether or not Sarah or Jane will be worse off. Only time will tell, but their current treatments are harsh on their other organs, so there is an element of urgency that makes us reluctant to just wait to see who gets sicker faster. If it came down to Jade needing a kidney next week and Sarah not needing one until next year, I would obviously donate to Jade and hold out hope Sarah will get another donor. I have suggested setting up a donor chain to my mom, but this has all happened recently, so it's still up in the air. I have only been confirmed as a match, and I haven't passed through all of the other checkpoints and testing. There's a very real chance I can't donate at all in the end, which is why I only told my mom and not my sisters about how I felt. To be explicitly clear, as this question comes up a lot, I don't think either deserves to die. Their parents are undeniably advocating for me to choose Jade, who has, and I quote, such a bright future, but they just haven't said it explicitly. I'm not choosing Sarah because she deserves it, I'm choosing Sarah because I want to save her life. Jade has always been, shall we say, unkind to a lot of people, and her dad has always acted like that her right. If I could save both, I would. If I can only save one, and the doctors have no explicit results to say one needs it urgently, I would choose to save the one I love, not just the one I share blood with. I personally think I'm an idiot. I think that if you look past the kudos for trying to donate a kidney, I think I'm doing something wrong. It just isn't enough to make me change how I feel, and I was hoping to get an impartial insight here, as I obviously can't get one from my family. Not the idiot, but to be honest, you really shouldn't have said anything for your own benefit. Unless I'm mistaken, your sisters don't need a kidney at this very moment? If they do, well, obviously you can only donate one, and it is very kind of you to do that, as you may be endangering your own long-term health in the process. You can only donate to one of your sisters, and as your family can't donate either, they can either accept you helping one of the girls and be thankful for that gift, or accept you helping neither of them. Obviously you can't help both. You're the idiot. I get that this is a tough situation all around and that you prefer one sister over the other, but you handled this badly. First, there was no need for you to say that you would donate to one over the other. You would donate to Jade if she needed it and Sarah didn't, so why did you feel the need to explicitly state a preference? If it came down to both need it now or they will die, you should have told your sisters you were doing a coin toss or something, even if it was a lie. There was no need to make a bad situation worse by choosing a sister when there was no need to do so. No idiots here. Your parents are going to freak out no matter which one you donate to, and the twins are most likely going to freak out as well. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place because your options are literally save one or save none, and if you pick neither, everyone is also going to freak out about it. There's never going to be a right answer to this. The only advice I can give is maybe don't tell them you choose because you love the other one more / or closer to her. It would be like rubbing salt in the wound for the one not getting a kidney. Update. They both got kidneys, they each got one from the same donor. Our family got to meet the family of the donor and it was really emotional and amazing. And they're both recovering well. However, before that, a lot of stuff went down that I wanted to update you on. There is now understandably massive divides in the family because of how my mom and the girl's dad outright demanded I give my kidney to Jade, because she was the golden child with a bright future, while Sarah was just, effectively, mediocre. I feel less bad now saying this because she's on the road to recovery, but Jade was a flaming idiot who made Sarah's life hell. I presume Sarah chose to spend most of her time with mom because we were so close, but it was mostly because of how Jade treated her like dirt, and their dad and stepmom thought it was basically Jade's right as the superior being or some bullcrap. I ended up not being allowed to donate, but before this, as many suggested, I spoke to my sisters about my decision. Sarah broke down in tears, because it was the first time she ever felt somebody put her first. She told me stories of the things that Jade did with their dad's approval and I was livid. She said if she was my choice, she wouldn't feel guilty knowing it might mean Jade won't get a kidney. I made it clear that I chose her because she is good, and amazing, and I loved her, not because Jade was a horrible person. I then spoke to Jade, and calmly explained that I had to pick, and well, as she knew, we weren't very close and Sarah was a kindred spirit that I was always with. I wasn't surprised that she was mad. I mean, how else would you react? But I didn't expect her to spew such hate, that I'm wasting my kidney. And I'm probably an idiot for it, but I didn't care if she was sick. I effectively said if she hadn't been such a nasty crazy idiot her whole life maybe she wouldn't be dealing with this, and it's a shame that she might have only learned on what may be her deathbed that she won't always be everyone's favorite and she can't treat her own sister like dirt. I've never simultaneously felt so happy and so guilty for getting something off my chest. Due to character count I can't explain the crap she did, but it's horrific. In any case, about 2 weeks after that, Jade asked me to come visit her and said she'd thought about what I said. I apologized and explained that I knew about everything she had done, as well as the fact Sarah had already resigned herself to death because she knew the whole family would put Jade first. After many tears, things seem to be okay now. She's slowly mending bridges with Sarah. Sarah will be moving in with me soon, so she can finally have a home where she comes first. Jade said she'd like to visit sometime too. So yeah, all wrapped up. Congratulations OP. I think you've handled the situation as best as you could, and the fact that they are both on the road to recovery and Jade is trying to do better by Sarah tells me you have the best outcome possible. It's a tricky, unique situation and I am glad things went down this way. Hope you and Sarah have a blast living together. I am a 46-year-old woman. My husband passed away about 18 years ago. Before he left, I promised him I would remain faithful to him for the rest of my life. To this day, I've never taken off my wedding ring. Even when I shower and exercise I leave it on. I have his on a necklace that I also never take off. This will all be important later. My younger sister has always disapproved of this choice. She's tried to set me up with men multiple times and every time I tell her I'm not interested. My sister is getting married for the 2rd time. She had a little bachelorette party but it was not a normal one. It was me, her, our other sister, and her friend at her house. It was a nice little time. She's been married before so she doesn't really care about the experiences, she is just very in love with her fiancé, which is fine by me. She was a little tipsy so maybe she wasn't all there when she did this, but she blurted out, "Oh my god, you still wear your ring?" And I said, "Yeah, I always will," and she said, Girl, take IT off already and get back out there, I said. I'm not interested. She argued, saying that I wear the necklace with his ring on it so I don't have to wear my wedding ring. I ignored her and she took my hand, and I honestly thought she was going to kiss it and apologize, but she took my ring off my finger and said much better. I grabbed it back from her, and I know this wasn't the best thing to do, but I was worked up and I yelled at her. I said, never do that again, you hear me? And she said it was just a joke, and I yelled again and said, never do that again, and she said, okay, I want G's, and everyone went quiet. I went home and cried. I feel really bad for yelling at her. I just couldn't control my anger. I felt so disrespected. I told her today I will not be attending her wedding, and now my mom and other sister are saying I'm a horrible sister and all that. Be honest, am I an idiot? Everyone's the idiot here. Even though I think it's probably coming from a place of concern deep down, your sister crossed a boundary. However, not going to her wedding seems like a major overreaction. Respectfully, your husband passed when you were 28. I hope you're getting therapy. You don't ever have to take your ring off, but reacting that drastically feels like there's a much more deep-rooted issue there. Not the idiot. Your husband clearly meant the world to you. Those rings are a part of you. It's not remotely the same thing, but I loved my Nana. She was my person. I have a ring she gave me for my 13th and I've never taken it off. I'm 36 now. I wear it every day to remember her, to feel closer to her. It's not that I haven't grieved, I have. But it's a way to feel closer to her. I imagine it's something similar for you. So for her to rip that off and try to force you to follow her demands, nope, that's not okay, it's so disrespectful. Not the idiot, no one can force you to attend a wedding against your will. It's important to be there for significant family milestones though, and I think it'd be a good idea to attempt to mediate. At the same time, it does sound like she's violated your boundaries multiple times over the years. Ultimately, it's up to you whether you want to attend, but I'd keep in mind that not attending would likely make it difficult to resolve conflict with your sister, because it will conflate the ring incident with the wedding, when previously they might have been unrelated events. I, 40s, have 2 kids, 20s, and 20s. They're both very successful and I'm extremely proud of both of them. My daughter is a military nurse and my son is a paramedic. They both love their jobs and have a real passion for what they do. I have an older brother, 50s, who became a doctor later in life, and ever since he started medical school I think he's had a huge ego problem. He frequently talks condescendingly about my children's careers and acts as if they are failed doctors. He'll say things like, oh, there's still time left for you to go to medical school, or make jokes about him getting jobs there and bossing them around at their workplaces. My kids are quite good at taking the high road and don't dignify his ignorance with a response, but it still irks me and they shouldn't have to put up with his passive-aggressive comments. Later this month I'm hosting a family dinner and my siblings and their families are invited. I didn't want to blatantly not invite my brother, so I talked to him one-on-one about it. He insisted that he hasn't been talking down to my children. I repeated some of his comments and he claimed that he didn't mean to be insulting and that I'm just being overprotective of my kids' feelings. I said it's more than about feelings and that they shouldn't have to put up with such behavior off their uncle who should be supportive, and told him to either grow up and act like an adult or not attend the dinner. My brother told me to get over myself and said I'm acting like a stroppy teenager. You already said what you said, but I'm a fan of the take the idiot down a peg or two technique. Brother mentions the kids' lack of medical school training. You say, that's right, my kids keep people alive so you doctors can pretend to save the day. Obviously he's an idiot. He's not going to change no matter what you say. Drop the rope and ignore him. Just laugh at his stupid comments and change the subject. He probably enjoys seeing you get riled up. Stop reacting. You are not the idiot. My dad, and recently my own doctor, made a joke. Doctors don't know anything. That's why they're still practicing physicians. I offer that to you, OP. But for now, I'd tell your brother thanks for the talk. You understand now he really does think so highly of himself he should not socialize with stroppy teenagers, so you'll release him from his invite. Not the idiot. Don't invite him if he can't be respectful. But good for you for talking to him about it. But your warning may not be enough. In the future, if you want to hammer home your point, you and the kids can just start counting off his insults. Just shout 22 as an inside joke. And when he asks what you are doing, just tell him and keep counting down as the night progresses. Pretty soon he won't make a peep without thinking through his words. There is nothing worse for an egomaniac than to be laughed at. So I, 37, work as a service manager for a high volume dealer and am out of the house for 12 hours a day, leave at 6 a.m. and don't get home until 6 p.m., 5 days a week. My wife, 33, gets upset when I get home and after eating dinner want to get a couple of rounds of COD in. My wife is a stay-at-home mom with our 18-month-old and thinks it's absolutely criminal that I want to get some decompress time at the end of the day. My daughter is still in the mommy all the time phase, so she prefers to spend more time with my wife than I. Usually when I get home I will eat dinner, do whatever honey-do she has for me, and then play for a little while. After I'm done I will join them and spend time with my family, which usually is her watching a movie/show, and I read the same book to my daughter 10 times lol. My wife says that even when I'm chilling with them I spend too much time on my phone. While we are all hanging out, if my daughter is asking for my attention I will stop what I'm doing and do whatever she's asking me to do. Whenever she wants to go back to mommy I will browse, since I usually have absolutely zero interest in what she is watching. She accuses me of being absent/not present since I don't focus all my free time on her and the baby. Also, side note, she is currently 20 weeks pregnant. So am I the idiot? Your wife is telling you that she needs adult attention after spending all day with a baby. When you're there, you are constantly doing everything you can to engage in escapism. She's telling you, but you aren't listening. The day will come when she doesn't complain to you at all. And it will be because she has already left you in her mind. The only thing left will be the packing. Once it gets to that point, there will be no fixing it. You're the idiot. In these cases, I always suggest the following. Take 5 days vacation time. Let your wife go visit a family member or head to a spa. Then for 5 days, take all the responsibility for your child, waking, dressing, cooking, feeding, cleaning up the kitchen, playtime, nap time, cooking lunch, feeding, cleaning up, playtime, nap time, preparing dinner for spouse and child, setting the table, feeding, cleaning up, story time, bath time, bedtime. See if you can find some time to do the grocery shopping, laundry, and general cleaning as well. Then get back to us. You're the idiot. Baby is with mom all day, she needs a break too. Her job comes with no breaks or vacation and no time to decompress because she's still watching the baby when you're home. Grow up, be a real father, and spend that time playing games and decompressing with your child before they go to bed. Give your wife a break. Enjoy the time with your baby. They grow up fast, and if you're not around now, they won't be around when they're older.